presidency will release the names of shortlisted candidates for the position of Chief Justice today. President Cyril Ramaphosa started that selection process by making an unprecedented call for nominations from the public. Judges Matter, which focuses on the appointment process for judges, says this was a good move.
The open process that the president has chosen to follow will raise a lot of controversy, but it is the best process to follow because it ensures that there's transparency in the appointment of the next Chief Justice. It allows people to also contribute to who should be the next Chief Justice. And what we are hoping that the panel will do, which is led by Navi Pillay, we're hoping that they will sit down and set a criteria as to what they will consider when shortlisting candidates. In doing so, they will ensure that there's legitimacy in the process that they have followed as the panel responsible for shortlisting candidates to be interviewed by the JSC, and ultimately one of them will become a Chief Justice.
So for the first time in the country's democratic dispensation, a legal challenge has forced the Judicial Service Commission to rerun interviews for 2 Constitutional Court vacancies. That's after the High Court in Johannesburg set aside its shortlist for judges following that challenge by the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. Newzroom Afrika's Nickolaus Bauer has the story.
You are nothing but a political activist. You are no judge and you deserve no high office. If anything, you are also factional and belong to Pravin's faction, and you are pursuing factional battles using the bench. Will I be fair in that criticism?
No.
It was encounters like this that saw the Judicial Service Commission's selection of candidates for vacancies on the Constitutional Court in April legally challenged.
We described it as a sham, and it was very clear that there was no objective assessment of the relative merits of each of the candidates.
After the JSC initially defended their interview process,
the duty of the JSC is to select people after the interviews, and that is what we did.
The South Gauteng High Court ordered it to be rerun on Monday, after hearing it had strayed from its mandate to impartially assess the judicial capabilities of candidates, and that Chief Justice Mogoeng presided over a political slugfest that unduly prejudiced some candidates.
The JSC must interrogate someone's ability to do the job, so their legal, technical ability, but also the values that they have and how far those values are compatible with the values in the Constitution. And so that is the primary task of the JSC. It's supposed to find good people to be good judges.
This time around will be different. Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo will oversee the interviews, and Judge Daya Pillay has withdrawn her name from the candidate list. But there is still no guarantee that it won't see sparks fly.
What should happen this time is that the JSC should reflect on its processes and try to come up with a written criteria which will guide the interviews and ensure that there is fairness to all.
The scene is now set for a tense rerun of these Judicial Service Commission interviews for vacancies on the Constitutional Court, with the independence of the JSC pitted against calls for it to be more even-handed in the interview process. But the most important question for South Africans is, will this process deliver the top legal minds to the Constitutional Court that will guarantee its impartiality in the future? For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, I'm Nickolaus Bauer in Braamfontein, Johannesburg.